on the east coast of the island of Unguja, the main island that makes up the archipelago known as Zanzibar. I've returned to an old favorite destination of mine, and it's a destination that's pretty notorious for bad internet. So let's see if we can actually pull off this live stream. So far, I don't think there's been an interruption, but no one is joining me, and I haven't been too active on YouTube lately, nor did I announce this live stream, so I'll just play it by ear and we'll see. We'll see if the connection holds up. Oh, someone has joined. Thank you very much. A few people have joined. Can you please let me know if you can hear me, Wexer82, and anyone else who is joining us? Again, Zanzibar is notorious for some pretty bad internet. Something I am cautiously optimistic is going to change and improve in the years, maybe in months to come. Okay, Wexer is the only one in here, and Wexer can hear me. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you very much for replying. I have basically divided up my entire 2021 into two countries that begin with T, Tanzania and Turkey. I arrived in Tanzania in late 2020, about December 17th, 2020, if I recall correctly. And I was here in Zanzibar for about 3 months, then on the mainland, mostly in Dar es Salaam, but elsewhere on the mainland also, up until the beginning of May. Then I headed to Istanbul, Turkey, where I've been based for pretty much the entire year since then. I'm now back in Zanzibar. Wexer82 saying, "Oh, Turkey, I heard they're nice to stray animals there." That's an interesting comment. Actually, people really love the stray dogs and cats in Turkey, especially Istanbul. I don't know quite how to describe it other than people really care for those stray dogs and cats. They feed them and try their best to be welcoming of them, and I try to do the same. Sometimes I let the cats will wander into cafes and restaurants. Sometimes I'll let the cat that wanders into a cafe sit on my lap as I work. But that's well north of here, where it's much cooler at the moment, and there's a bit of a crisis going on. Rune's saying that the term stray is Western. All right, I'll have to look into that. That's interesting. There's a currency crisis in Turkey. That is not why I am here in Tanzania. Maybe this makes me a little bit of a control investor. Not that I'm a major investor, but I think it's a prime opportunity to purchase property in Turkey, and that was something that I spent quite a lot of the past 6 months or so looking into and getting involved in to a small degree. But nonetheless, I am very optimistic about the future of Tanzania and the future of Zanzibar as well. And I've got a little bit of a shift in my professional life coming up. I'm not going to be as focused on journalism as I have been in recent years. I did make an announcement quite similar to this back 2 years ago. Yeah, a little more than 2 years ago. And to some extent, I was true to my word of focusing more on business and less on reporting. And to some extent, I was not true to my word. Last year, during the Black Lives Matter protests and a lot of the civil unrest happening in the US, my big focus was on reporting, not on business. And this year, my time's been kind of split. I know I haven't been as active on YouTube as I could have been, or maybe should have been. And actually, I did do a fair amount of reporting off in southeastern Turkey over the Afghan migrant and refugee crisis. Unfortunately, I didn't actually get around to editing and uploading a lot of the footage that I shot there. Although I did upload several of the interviews I did. I've been preoccupied with some other matters, including here in Zanzibar, where I am building a guest house. Definitely not alone. I'm no one-man crew, nor am I an architect. But together with a friend of mine, we're constructing a guest house that is due to be completed later this month and hopefully open before New Year's or maybe right on New Year's. And likewise, we're thinking of launching some other business venture here, potentially a co-working space, something that from my experience is pretty needed here. It's very difficult to work in Zanzibar, although I put up with the internet and the power cuts, and there are ways to get around it to a large degree. But here in Jambiani, which has been my favorite stomping grounds, and some people would describe as a little paradise on the east coast of Zanzibar, it's not such a great work environment. But there is potential, and I think there's reason for optimism. If I can do a live stream like this without any hiccups thus far, that alone is reason for optimism. I'm not giving up journalism altogether. I still report for Cal Coast News, based in San Luis Obispo, California. And I still am heavily involved on the business side, not the reporting side of We Are Change. And I do very much miss my various reporting trips where I would sometimes crank out articles for other publications like Bulgaria Analytica, last year the Western Standard in Canada. And I was meaning to do some more of that this year, particularly with the southeastern Turkey situation or the Afghan migrant situation in Tanzania. But I've been pretty preoccupied with business matters, and that's going to be my focus for this not so dark northern winter. I say that a little facetiously. I am south of the equator, not by a whole lot, but south of the equator here in Tanzania. And it is not winter, and it's definitely not dark and dreary. The weather is not cold. There is no lockdown, and that's a big component of what draws me back to Zanzibar. Last year, when I arrived here, I'm trying to message my German compadre lady friend right now because I see that she's messaging me, but she has no idea that I'm live. She's not here. She was here last summer here, or northern winter. She was here with me in Tanzania, both in Zanzibar and on the mainland, from mid-December last year to very early in May, and we didn't always have the best of times. I think we brought it up during one live stream that we got broken into one time. We ended up getting broken into a second time. Both of those incidents were in Jambiani, here where I am at the moment, and where I'm building this guest house. So needless to say, as I construct this guest house, constructing security features and a security plan is a major component of the project. But as you referred to her, my compadre lady friend, she is in Turkey at the moment, but she plans on joining me, so we'll see how soon she can make it out here. And I am just trying to see if she sees this message. I'll take any and all comments during this stream. It's very impromptu. You probably can't even see me that clearly. I see there's a big shadow effect, but that's all right because I think the background is nice. It's basically high tide, but the tide is starting to roll in, or roll out, I should say, roll out a little bit. During high tide, the water comes crashing right up against the property where I am, practically coming into my room or coming through the window. And then when it's low tide, the water goes way out. So right now it's a very nice backdrop for a live stream, in my opinion. And it's just a very lovely setting here, and I could be in a much worse place in the world, given that I like warm weather, I like to travel, I like fresh air, I like walking around and enjoying things without being locked down. So that gives you a lot of my mindset as to why at this particular time I'm very happy to be here. I started coming to Zanzibar before COVID, before anything of in the realm of lockdowns were taking effect. But last year there were people flocking in here in order to escape lockdowns, and to a lesser extent to escape winter, and probably to a lesser extent than that to get away from some of the bigger COVID hotspots. And it seems like there's going to be a lot more of that during this northern winter, southern summer, and high season here in Zanzibar. Just checking. Yep, looks like the connection's all right. I've had people contacting me with interest in coming here, although the word has definitely gone out that the internet situation for remote workers and digital nomad types is not the best here. That is true, but apparently it's good enough for me to do this live stream. Sorry, I missed it. I missed that last comment. Background is great, but you're a little silhouetted. Yeah, I'm very silhouetted. Let's see, I cut out my end. I'm back now, but I don't know if who's bringing up Cal Poly. I'm a confirm that we're back and that the stream. All right, maybe we're back now. Are we back? All right, if Wexer says we're back, then we're back. But yeah, it's not the greatest Wi-Fi here. My stream cut out multiple times, and we had to cut it short. So let's see if it holds up now. But I'm not going to carry on for too long anyway. I just mostly want to check in and intermittent that my YouTube channel isn't going away, but I've got more of a focus at the moment on business than I do have on reporting. But I've also in the past done a lot of things on the channel related to travel and related to international living. I can go back and edit and upload some of the footage from Turkey, as well as footage over the past couple of years that before we cut out. That from a news perspective, there have been, with the death of then President John Pombe Magufuli. That was something I did cover on the channel at pretty great length, and Magufuli was replaced by his vice president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, who is now president and is the first female president of Tanzania. There have been a lot of changes since Hassan, or Mama Samia, or Samia, depending on how you refer, has taken over. Yeah, kite surfing is very popular. Kite surfing season is starting right now. I'm not positive, but a lot of people come here for kite surfing. Anyway, I was saying that I'm trying to put the stream. Fortunate because we have a very nice backdrop. Very good. I am in silhouette. Magufuli on many things remain up, but also elsewhere. A lot of countries are locking down pretty hard. That's not the case in Tanzania. It's not the case in Zanzibar. I'm excited to be back here. But yeah, unfortunately, the connection is a problem. And that's a sign of some of the work I've got cut out for me. I've got to figure out how to create, not that am personally going to bring better internet here, but I've got to create a better work environment for myself and others, and it's something that I look forward to. Just saying that, connecting and checking in with you more, whether it's live or a short upload or whatever, tuned, and I'll try not to be a stranger. And I'm going to enjoy and enjoy some kite surfing.